Hi, I'm Bobsto, the Elder Weeb.
And I'm Red, the bald-headed wonder.
We are the Anime Boys.
Anime
Anime
boys.
Boys. And today's a special day because it's the end of Mob.
Tell them.
The
Tell
end of
them.
our 3 season long journey. I've been on it since it first came out, and I think 2017. Red,
Oh.
you're new
Oh.
to Mob. And man, it must suck to to just get into it the same year it fucking ends.
Dude, I ain't gonna lie, this episode had me tearing up a little bit.
Ah, dude, same here.
It was messing me up a little.
Fucking. Mm-hmm.
I hell of a finale. A
Yeah.
little underwhelmed, but overall left in a very good spot.
Hmm. If it wasn't if it was, it probably would be a bit more of an underwhelming ending if it wasn't Mob.
I agree.
I think if it was anything else, because like Mob, you already sort of know what the shtick and the main sort of core is,
And
and so whenever you,
for everybody else, what I mean by that is that I didn't hate the way that it ended. I just simply, without it, seeing what we've seen in the past two episodes that's been leading up to this moment,
yeah,
it was kind of a holy shit. I like it, but am I supposed to like it kind of moment?
hmm,
That's the way I was feeling in that very moment in
yeah,
time. But we'll get into it as we, jibber jab a little bit. So,
yeah.
um,
So
first and
episode opens up,
foremost,
first and foremost,
Bob Stone,
Reagan's a fucking boss.
Reagan's a boss, and so are our community.
Hey, yeah, hell yeah. If you got for those who watch all three of our uploads within the week, you're probably gonna get sick of hearing it. But hey, over the past week or so, we've been growing pretty well. We're at
hmm
50 subs,
And we cannot let
um,
y'all know enough how much we appreciate it.
and we are very appreciative
It
because at
is the
first, I was
best.
thinking, well, my first was okay. First, I want to surpass the other Anime Boys YouTube channel, which has been sitting at 33 subscribers
And we
for a
did
while
that.
because I only have 4 uploads. And we did that. I was thinking, okay, it'd be even cooler? What if we hit 50 before the end of the year?
And we hit it.
We fucking hit it.
Now let's shoot for 100.
Thanks. Yeah, dude, 100's next. We probably won't get 100 by the end of the year, but
Do it.
that'll definitely be the goal of next year.
Come on, you guys can definitely
Break
do it.
100.
And for those who aren't subscribed, you're missing
It's a,
out. You're
it's
missing
just,
out on a fun time.
it's a small button. What, you scared of a small little tiny button?
Hey, just
I'm
because
scared of
look,
fucking.
just
I'm scared
because
of ghosts and terrorist attacks.
just because there's
And
a
you're.
game that says don't press the red button doesn't mean that you shouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, come on. It's simple. You just click. It's a little left click on your mouse, or
So
just a
just
little
click.
touch of your finger. It's a tip tip
If
tap
you're
tap.
if you're a degenerate and uses the right click, I guess fucking right click on it as well. I don't know why you would have your left click bound to your right click, but I'm not gonna judge you.
We're not gonna judge
It's
you at
fucking.
all because you're an awesome subscriber. That's why.
See, Reagan would subscribe. He's
Reagan,
fucking awesome.
the
You want to be
future,
like Reagan, don't you?
the future devil's already subscribed because the future
Yeah,
rules.
man. The future fucking rules. And O'Doyle
Oh,
rules.
Doyle rules. Um, but other than that, like I said, we do appreciate you guys, but we're gonna move
Big
on in. So,
big ass thank you. And yeah, I guess the other thing is, after this week, me and Red will work on our little year in review to cap off the end of the year and the
mhm.
start of a new one, which will be fucking awesome. We'll have some announcements and whatnot for what we're going to be doing going forward. Since next week, Spy Family and Chainsaw Man is also ending.
Oh, dude, and
So
it's weird that we're at this point. Like
yeah,
I looked at
it's
the channel the other day and noticed that we've pumped out like almost 50 videos
uh-huh,
in 8 months,
uh-huh.
which might seem a bit underwhelming for most channels, but to me, 50 videos in 8 months is
It
kind of
first started
something.
off as weekly uploads, but then it became tri-weekly uploads. I'm not tri-weekly, but like 3 uploads per week.
And I don't
because of
know.
the stuff we've been doing, because of the
I'm
quickies and whatnot, which
as
is
you know, it
insane.
seems that, even when we're behind a little bit, things have been going pretty smooth for the channel. And with
Uh huh.
the ending of these one shots and all these like quickies that we've been doing, it kind of brings a tear to my eye a little bit. It's a little
Yeah.
it's I can't wait
But hey,
till next year.
that I can't wait till the other shit that comes out next year starts popping out, because then we'll be right back into it,
But
and it'll be fucking awesome.
given
But
that, before
anyways,
we start,
uh,
I just want to give a little
big thank you,
toast. Big
big thank
toast.
you. I'm gonna give you a toast. I got my Angry Orchard because this is a special, okay, very special occasion.
It is, and I've got my peach crown, which is the last little bit of
Hell
my
yeah.
bottle. So,
Hell
I
yeah.
finished out my peach crown.
Fucking a little toast to Mob, and
Mm,
hell yeah. And a toast to 50 subs and over 4K total channel views.
hell yeah!
That shit's awesome. So
Toasted it up. Here we
anyways,
go.
toasting it up. Anyways, on to Mob.
Yeah.
So Red, what'd you think of the? Well, actually, we already know what you sort of think. You really liked it.
Yeah.
Maybe felt
So, what
super
about
underwhelmed
you,
some certain
Bob?
areas.
So we didn't get
I
your opinion.
I fucking loved it. It was nice. It capped off all the characters very well, all while keeping the main um, core idea of the series strong.
Right. Yeah. Like I
Um,
said, it was the
yeah,
moment I was feeling when I said I love it, but am I supposed to?
I was expecting things to get maybe just not super bombastic, because with how certain conflicts have ended throughout the season, like the resolution with Dimple and whatnot, that maybe like it would get bombastic in certain areas, but not full.
Right.
But here, it's not quite as bombastic as one would expect.
Everything went super quickly. Like
Hmm. This is a very
everything.
fast-paced episode,
It
I'll
was
say as
it was
well.
longer than a standard episode too.
Yeah.
Given that, and it still felt like a short episode with everything that was going on, and it's because of so much that was happening.
Hmm.
Uh, man, so give
So,
let,
so yeah,
let's just move into it. Like
let's just jump into it. So
we'll talk
we
more
open
about it
up.
as we progress.
Yeah. So we open up. Reagan and Serizawa are pushing through, and Serizawa's like, okay, man, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to press on, because
Yeah, his
basically the
umbrella's
shit's
power
getting
is getting sucked up.
his powers are getting
The
sucked
big
super
suck.
hard. Whatever it is, it's getting whatever's around is big sucking his psychic energy, meaning he cannot guarantee Reagan's safety.
Right.
Well, Reagan's like, man, that's some bitch shit. I'm moving on because I gotta talk with Mob. I
Yeah,
gotta fucking
Reagan.
talk to him.
Reagan's like, you know what? Just leave. I got
But
this. It's
you know
my
what,
opportunity
Reagan?
anyway.
Given how much of a Chad Reagan's been throughout the series, you know what? Fuck
God,
yeah,
dude.
hell yeah,
And on top of this, the way he just gets fucking shit whipped throughout the scene
yeah.
makes me feel
Um,
even more, apathy and just in general respect for the man. Like
I mean,
Reagan,
apathy is the
I meant
lack of
empathy, not apathy.
empathy. I was,
I didn't shut up.
yeah, I just want to make sure you worded your words right, because you're about to say that you felt entirely indifferent
Dude,
towards
I meant
Reagan.
I meant empathy.
It's all good. It's all good.
I felt empathetic towards the man, okay?
Yeah.
And the respect that was, beaming off of him in this scene where as he was trying to push on towards Mob, every inch he got closer, he was just getting fucked. Like the wind was
Yeah.
pushing him, the powers were crushing
Push him
him.
back. He gets hit in the head by a giant fucking boulder.
Dude, just fucking huge rock
And
just smacks, which it didn't show.
It didn't show because it was doing this whole thing where it's cutting back to Mob
Yeah,
as soon as
which
the impact happened.
that
But still,
scene.
dude took an entire fucking rock
Dude
to
took
his
a
head,
well, it took a rock to his
being
head.
blown at however many
Dude got
miles per hour wind.
dude just got fucking blasted
He
everywhere,
gets
crushed into a
blasted.
wall. This man is just powering through it, and at this point, he's about to pass out, and he said, Then we get the most
So,
amazing fucking thing. This
So
man,
before we get into that, do we want to get into a bit with Mob first,
I,
or
I was gonna cover
with
that
what's going
after
on?
we. I was gonna cover that after we
Okay,
hit the
okay,
Reagan thing.
all right, okay,
We're gonna
sounds
move, we're
good. So
gonna
yeah,
cover it in
so
segments because it's so intertwined. It's hard to bounce back and
uh,
forth.
okay,
Um,
so yeah, Reagan fucking
Reagan,
after getting fucking slung around, fucking Hulk style, slung into shit.
he
Dude,
is, dude.
this
He's
dude goes
getting
to the fucking
carried
ringer,
off. Like getting carried
and
off by the Twister. He's holding on to rocks and signs, begging
yeah,
Mob to just listen to him, like because he wants to
yeah.
tell Mob something. And
And then he's like, well, you know what? You're not the only one who's been secretly training.
man rips his socks and shoes off, takes off his fucking tie, takes off his overcoat, and fucking books it. Like, man
Yeah,
dodges a whole fucking falling building. Like, this
yeah,
man,
dude,
this
he's going
dude,
down. He's doing fucking Adam Smasher slides
dude, it was
down the building.
insane. This scene was
He
so
is
fucking
running
cool, bro.
all while a very familiar tune is playing, aka the
The
very
very
first
first intro
opening.
song, yeah, dude, it was.
And dude, it was so fucking sick.
It was amazing with the energy that was packed behind the scene, mixed with
Yeah,
the build up of the percentage as they were singing in the
and
intro, and it just
yeah.
kept getting closer and closer, and it ended with
Mhm.
him missing Mob and getting fucking decked into the dirt.
Yeah.
Man,
Hmm.
so with this scene, right? Okay. He's slapping Reagan all over the place. Reagan's trying to get him. He misses him. He gets crushed. But what brought this on was in the previous episode we saw a snippet of Mob pretty much fighting with his power side. He has two
Yeah.
different basic like identities to him, which
Yeah.
one is his powers and one is
Yeah.
just his self that he has become.
I'm trying to remember which was it you or me who thought that was his emotions and not his powers. I'm trying to remember. I think because when I was on power side.
I mean, I
Yeah.
think you were on the power side, and I was kind of in
Yeah.
mixed emotions. Like
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure
Hmm.
I would like. I'm
Shay, I
yeah.
was
I
correct.
was.
It is his
It
powers.
is his power.
Which
It
which
definitely
which
was.
would in turn be tied to his like not like fully tied to his emotions, but you know what
But like just
I mean.
strictly his powers
But yeah, his
was a whole,
which was very interesting, and the way it was done is so like nice.
which is cool because
Um,
that's exactly how they portray everyone else within the show. If you pay
yeah,
attention to it, they have their personality, and then they have their personality behind their powers, and they're different
yeah,
people per empowerment. So like Dimple, he's completely different without having his powers from when he was a cult leader, right?
hmm,
You know, he was this arrogant, pompous dude. And then whenever he lost his powers, he become, more humble and started showing more
hmm,
characteristics about himself. And this is basically what Mob was fighting with, except Mob had not figured out that it
yeah.
was something that he had been burying down, which was super, super cool. And
It
the
was
way
so
that they
good,
introduced
and
it was
I like how
incredible.
they showed it. So it's like there's the one bit where it's like him decide on the day he decided to walk away or turn away from using his powers. It just shows him walking forward, and the outline is left behind him. And
It
it's like, dude, that's really fucking good.
well, like
It's really,
the way that he was arguing with himself
hmm,
was that because the power side of Mob wanted to go see Sabomi, and given that that's all that he wanted to achieve because Subomi treated him like a person and couldn't care less about his powers. And that's basically, see, the power side of Mob had more sense than the ethical side of Mob, if that makes any sense at all. Uh, because he wanted Mob to see that there are more things to life other than changing for someone. You have to
yeah,
embrace yourself and see exactly what everybody is thinking
hmm,
without actually unveiling it. So like
yeah,
he basically told Mob, look, you've been so blinded by this new act of self That you
Yeah.
couldn't even see the people who actually cared for you when you were your true self.
Hmm.
And I found that to
And
be
that's
absolutely
it's
mesmerizing.
really interesting because it's basically just along the lines of, sure, changing yourself is great and all, but it's not really going to do much if you yourself aren't even accepting your own,
Right.
complexities.
And man, it's
Like
like,
the his own, like, because like the powers are still very much a part of him, and even though he acknowledges that somewhat, he doesn't fully accept it, doesn't fully like and but
he
in turn he's still super emotionless and doesn't let his feelings out that much, despite how much he's grown.
exactly. And that's because he feels like he has to hold that back due to
Because
responsibility of
due to
becoming that new
responsibility,
person.
yeah.
And man, the way that they portrayed Mob's inner self
Hmm.
was incredible. Because as we saw in the previous episode, pieces of Mob were just peeling away and
And
adding on to this new form of Mob, which is the power
mhm.
side of Mob. And it fully
And
took over.
yeah, the thing that did it was like Mob is basically, what, Reagan will stop this. Reagan will come and save me, and then that's whenever his power side is like, dude, Reagan's a fucking liar.
Yeah,
This
basically.
entire time, he's a sham. He's lied to you about his powers and is using you for his own monetary gain.
Well, no, it wasn't in those
And well,
terms.
not the monetary gain, but it wasn't in the terms. It was just that he lied. He's a liar.
Right. He basically told Mob
Um.
that he's been trying to deceive him this whole time. And I mean, look at
Mhm,
him now. He even sees you differently because of what you have become. And
mhm,
that was interesting take on Reagan because as Mob understood this already, Mob
mhm.
chose to bury it and not confront it.
Yeah.
And that brings us
Mhm.
back to, a whole season ago. I mean, they're bringing back shit that happened 2 seasons ago. It's super cool how they're just
Yeah.
wrapping, which is why I was
It's.
okay with what happened here at the end.
Mhm,
The way the ending happened, I can accept because they did it so fucking well.
mhm.
So why don't you pretty much give off what happens next?
So basically, at this point, as this entire conversation is going on, a lot between the last episode and this one, a lot more of Mob is peeled off, like a fuck ton. Like now, some of his face is now visible on the other Mob, and as soon as Mob's powers fully takes over, that's when fucking the shit with Reagan starts happening.
Right.
And as soon as Reagan gets in, after he gets fucked up, fucking Mob's trying to walk towards Tsubomi,
And he gets right there on the
and
edge of the
he
park.
gets right there, and all of a sudden Reagan shows up again,
Dude, this
and
was
dude, the fucking
crazy.
lines on his face were like super intense,
This is where you
and
could
it's like,
tell something changed.
yeah.
And this was so cool. Keep
And
going.
it's like, well, what the fuck's going on here? And so Mob, as he does, it fucking reaches out. You get this cool ass stylized, like it's almost like looks like a painting of like all these different colors of on Mob. It's like super hyper detailed. And he reaches out, he shoots out a fucking blast of energy, and we're thinking, all right, Reagan's fucked at this point. But what happens? Nah, he fucking pushes back against it because you know what? Our boy fucking Dimple is back.
Right. And
And
oh my gosh,
man,
this
so
was
Dimple gives him just enough psychic energy to get as close to Mob, and it's so fucking good.
it is.
And as
It
soon as I was curious as to see how Dimple would get brought be reintegrated because I knew for a fact that the tree incident probably wasn't the last we would see of Dimple.
Oh man, as soon as
And
Dimple
man,
popped in, I lost it.
as soon as you see those cheeks, it's
Oh
like, oh
man,
shit.
I completely lost it. I was like, "Oh fuck no." And okay, I at this point, I'm just like, "Okay, we saw Dimple get carried off into fucking space to never be seen again. How in the world is he back so soon? Like what happened?" And then they just carry on to explain that he came back through this vortex of energy,
Yeah, the fucking Twister.
and
Fucking
he found Reagan laying on the ground and chose to take over his body at that point.
which hey, the visual of him of Dimple being in the form of lightning in the opening makes a bit more
It
sense.
does makes a lot more
Because he
sense.
basically, I guess what happened is he basically just became energy,
Yeah,
and the Twister drew him back in.
yeah,
And yeah,
it was hella nice, dude. Like this whole
and dude,
scene was super
it was
cool.
so nice. And then so as soon as Reagan is able to just get his hands on Mob, he's like, "All right, Dimple, just let go. I need it to be just me and him." And
And
that's where Reagan, man, this entire fucking
this
sequence
sequence was incredible. Like,
was incredible because it's just the entire bit of it is Reagan telling Mob the truth himself
and he basically just
and
told
just
Mob,
pouring his
"Hey,
heart out to Mob.
I've lied to you. I'm not really a psychic." And the impact of his words brought Mob back to his senses. And
Mm-hmm.
you know, I told you last episode I would be really upset if it came down to the power of friendship baloney that you usually see in these types of animes. But personally, you know, that wasn't the case. It was basically the way that they ended it was an acceptance of oneself. They basically took a
Mm-hmm.
turn on it to have a learning experience within the damn show. It's like watching a cartoon when you're
Mm-hmm.
as a kid, or watching an old sitcom
Yeah.
and they cover a really tough topic about, you know, like I don't know if y'all have ever seen the Will Smith Fresh Prince of Bel-Air when his dad came
Yeah.
back kind of episode.
Mm-hmm.
He finds out that his dad came back and they get this relationship just for his dad to dip back out, and it was just a whole learning experience and curve for the character
Mm-hmm.
as a whole. This is basically
And
what you're seeing.
and here we get like a good, what I guess you could say, like almost like Reagan's final lesson to the Mob, which is we all have a side to us that we hide. Hell, I even hate the side of myself I don't let you see.
Yeah, and
And it's like, man,
the
it's so.
whole finale was just
And
acceptance of oneself.
all while he's talking about this, it just goes back to moments from previous seasons
Right. It
with Mob and Reagan, and
mm, mm.
it was so good.
It was so well put
And
together. This whole scene was
I was
just so
starting to even
wrapped.
maybe I'm starting to tear up a little as well because like damn,
And
like
given this new form of trust and view that the power side of Mob has come to see,
hmm
Reagan basically tells him, "Okay, it's time for you to go see Sabomi." And
hmm
then at this point, the power side of Mob doesn't know what to do. He's just like, "What if I get rejected?
yeah,
What happens? What do I do?" And Mob says, "Then
hmm
you'll be just
just
fine."
then you just be fine. And then you get this cool thing where Mob's back in, and they both basically merge together, and you got this whole nice. Like it starts off, the dark voice starts to become overpowered by like this light,
Dude, it was so
and
cool. Like, oh
and
man.
man,
So basically the version of Mob that got overtaken by the power side of Mob
mm,
come back as a yin and yang aspect of relationship. There's this aspect of Mob who is now found friends and a social
mhm,
life, and then there's this side of Mob who is
yeah,
nothing without his powers.
yeah,
And then
they are
they grab each other's
now,
hand and
and they've become one
they
basically.
coexist. And
They coexist. They balance each other out.
it man,
And man, and then after that, you get the whole scene. I like how also the bouquet goes from a bunch of different flowers to being one flower.
yeah. So he goes
Um,
up the steps to go see Sabomi
mhm,
and comes back as quick as he went up the steps. And at this point,
uh-huh.
you're just like, well, what just happened? You know, like what the hell? And it's so cool because he come down the steps all slow, come up to them, big smile on his face, and they're just like, "Well, what happened?" And he
Mhm.
said, "She rejected me."
She directed
This
me,
whole
and
fucking thing.
yeah.
He gets run
Well,
over
it's like
by a
you
fucking
got
car.
yeah.
Turns
Well,
into
to be
this.
honest, she probably would have still rejected him anyways because
Well, yeah, I mean, I get
let's
it.
be honest,
I
throughout the
get it.
entirety of the series, like there's been almost little to no connection between them other than she's his primary motivator.
Right. And, well,
Um,
there
which
is
those
some aspects of her liking Mob, but she's not
yeah,
at the
she
type of
but she
relationship
hasn't
yet.
she's not at the point where she can say, "Yeah, I want to go out with you."
Yeah, because they have yet to
Yeah,
build any
because they
type of relationship at all.
yes,
And I found that
and you know
amazing
what?
that
Fucking
the
props to her for waiting through an entire fucking
dude, she's
psychic twister.
she's the one. That's all I'm gonna
Like
say.
you know, like you know, maybe now is not his chance, but what we see later on in the episode, maybe sometime in the future.
Right. All I
I
can
think it's another
say,
that's another great thing is like because like this entire season has been dealing with the core conflict has been the future and the fear of like the uncertainty of it,
right. And he basically just
and
conquered his fear
he
of,
conquered his fear of the uncertainty of the future.
man, him and the future devil would really
In
get along.
him, the future devil. It's funny. It's funny that the same week the fucking future devil episode drops, that this entire fucking core theme of Mob Psycho 100 season 3 would be
Right.
the fucking
It's
future.
fucking
But I guess
hilarious.
you know what the future rules, dude.
Future rules. Oh Doyle. Oh Doyle. Oh Doyle.
Virai Psycho. But yeah, but as soon as Mob gets back down, he starts crying because he's just felt rejection for the first time,
Right. And
and then well, it's so fucking nice. Like Reagan just pats his back. It's like, yeah, it sucks, but hey, at least you did it. At least you did it.
right. And he starts crying, and we get uh this really cool scene where they're walking away and they're talking about, where they're going next and blah blah blah, and you just
Hmm.
get this overview of them walking back the path that Mob took, and you could just see the destruction from where he started.
Uh
And
huh.
holy shit, man.
Yeah.
I'm
It's
surprised Mob
fucking.
didn't get thrown in jail. It's he has no
I
repercussions, dude.
well, I would expect it to happen.
But
Also, this isn't the worst a worst form of zero repercussions because there are some characters, some certain characters in Naruto I fucking look at and I'm like, hey, you guys probably should have gotten something a bit more
right, and
because like, but yeah, but here
either
like
way,
I didn't figure he would end up getting arrested because
I
like it will one
I
it'd be a
knew,
weird way to try to ride around it
right. I mean, I
and
knew that nothing happened. I mean, I would have been okay with Mob having to participate in the reconstruction.
yeah.
Something to see
But you
his
know what? We
repercussions
didn't see the
because of.
reconstruction, so he might have.
Well, I mean, you have to understand too, like from where I'm coming back from,
Yeah.
you know, the way that Mob is with all of these, what's the word? Damn it! Why do my words escape me all the time? I hate it. Um,
Yeah.
Basically, the way that they deal with things and like the different, you know what? Fuck it. I don't even care.
Yeah.
Given the way that they, approach certain situations, I feel like they
Hmm.
should have had some form of repercussion for Mob, dealing
Yeah.
with his problem that he created.
Hmm.
Uh, so I don't know. It's that's just me,
But
but
but I could say definitely, especially if they use psychics for the reconstruction, I'm pretty sure he probably had some part in it.
like I said, it's
Um.
it's open because
Yeah.
it we got cut back over throughout the next year. Um,
Yeah. And dude, man, this is probably one of my favorite, my second favorite part of the episode
this
is
was an
just this
amazing
sort of
part of the episode.
where are they now, sort of thing. And
And
oh man, it's fucking great.
it introduces every character that Mob has come across in his
Hmm.
path so far. So We get this, we get a heartwarming section of Mob taking over as captain of the Body Improvement Club, which was
Yeah.
awesome. And he was bulked up. I mean, the man was
Hmm.
built.
He's gotten a little taller. He's a bit broader now. He's
The
not small and weak.
right, the
He's
other
actually it's paying off.
yeah, it's
And
definitely paying off. The other members of the Body Improvement Club have graduated and moved on. They're moving on with
except
their
for the
lives.
bald guy,
Yeah, except for the
he's the
bald
only one
guy.
remaining because he's the only other one who I guess was like a year below them.
Yeah, I feel like he was in the
And
same year as Mob. So,
yeah,
um,
but yeah, sadly that means also Tinka's gone.
yeah,
I'm
dude,
gonna miss
they
you.
didn't even bring up Tinga.
I wish they did bring.
They
Actually,
didn't
you know what?
even show him in
That'd be one thing.
the.
That'd be one thing I'd say if they didn't bring up Tenga.
Well, they didn't even show
Um,
him in the little like overview of the Body Improvement Club at the top.
yeah. So if I can have a slide against this episode and say, hey, where the fuck, where's our boy?
Yeah, where's our Tinga?
Where's our
Like,
where's our fucking pompadour
this man
bat boy?
had the quickest and best redemption arc I've ever seen ever.
Yeah.
And you're just gonna shy him out of the whole fucking ending? It pisses me off a little.
Hmm.
Like, that's kind of dumb. He was like one of my favorite side characters.
Hmm.
Given his, construction of self after he just got completely stomped by the student council, like,
Yeah.
just his
But
progression as a character. I feel like they should have showed him here at the end, but they didn't.
Ritsu is vice president of the student council, which is fucking
Cool.
great. Trying to think what else.
But I feel like hasn't he already
Oh,
been vice president?
no, I don't think so. I think this is a new because I think he was high up in the student council, but he wasn't vice president yet.
Maybe. Either way.
I don't think so. But anyway, he's vice president. There's a nice scene of um of a cat stuck in a telephone pole,
Yeah, this is
and you're
cool.
thinking, oh, what? Oh, is Mob gonna use his powers finally? It's like no, he actually, as a testament to how the Body Improvement Club has paid off for him. Dude climbs the fucking telephone pole.
Dude, yeah,
No
just
problem.
no powers involved. He just climbs the telephone pole. And then what's hilarious about it is that he got all the way to top to save this cat, and the cat jumps to the tree next door.
Shitty fucking cat.
You dumb bitch ass cat.
I bet it wanted him to do that. I bet it was like,
Look,
wait a second, I can't wait for someone to try to climb up here.
there's one
So
thing,
I can
I
fuck with
love I
him.
love animals and I love cats, don't get me wrong. I would never own one in my life. I refuse.
Hmm.
They stink. Their litter boxes are terrible. They they're just they suck. They're terrible support
Hmm.
animals.
Um,
But I'll pet a cat any day. Like if I'm going to
hell
someone's
yeah.
house and shit. But
But there's that. Teru's hair is back to was close to what it was
yay!
at the start of season one.
They go on this big shopping spree.
He no longer has the Ben Franklin or the Naruto, or what I call the Naruto cut.
The Naruto
because
cut,
it
the
because it
cactus cut.
looks like Naruto without his headband.
I was gonna call his other
Um,
one the cactus cut.
the cactus cut. There's the tall ass fucking
Yeah,
that one probably be the cactus cut. Is the tall
his
fucking wig.
Big Bird's gigantic flap dapper.
Oh yeah, it's big. It's made from fucking Big Bird's skin.
It's Big Bird's Big Dipper.
Big Bird's big tougher. Um,
Either
but
way,
yeah,
I thought that was cool.
poor Ritsu is still dissing Mob's sick ass shirt.
Yeah,
Because Mob
dude.
actually seems to really like the Smart Monkey brand.
Well, it's because it's the best
Yes.
brand on the market.
It's the best brand. Come on, man. Come on, man. I'd probably wear a Smart Monkey shirt.
As a guy that I watch pretty regularly on YouTube, Jimmy here says, "Monkey."
Yeah, monkey. Yeah, hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh man.
Um, there's that, and then so it all ends with them going to the office.
Oh man.
Serizawa is fucking doing awesome. He's picking up the
He's
phone,
really coming into his own and
and
started
he's
becoming the
really coming into his
backbone.
own.
Like he's become the backbone of the company almost, answering calls, setting
Yeah.
up like appointments and shit. It was really neat.
Hmm. Fucking Tomei's the fucking secretary,
Dude, sick by the
which
way.
is
Great
which is
place to be.
sick.
Um I don't know if that's an internship or no, because she mentioned getting a raise. So
She
no, that
mentioned wanting to get a raise,
so
so she's employed,
she's
and she
employed,
says she's a secretary,
which is awesome.
um, which is awesome. Uh, oh, forgot to mention back at the Body Improvement Club, fucking Inukawa. They're talking about, hey, I wonder if the space the UFO will return, and and Inukawa's got his fucking
Oh
alien eyes
man,
back.
dude popped his
I
alien
wonder
eyes off, dude.
I wonder if the alien eyes are something that he activates.
It has to
Because
be because
throughout
he.
the rest of the episode, his eyes is back to normal.
Well, you have to understand too, like in the episode of when that was happening, he mentioned that he unlocked the power to understand their language. And
Yes,
with doing so, his eyes changed.
his eyes changed.
But
But yeah,
it's
Mister
something that he
Mister
can activate
Chad.
like powers, dude. It's so
I'm
cool.
gonna be honest. If anyone's a fucking underdog in this series,
It's
it's
him.
fucking Inukawa.
It's
He
Inakawa.
won.
That
He
man.
fucking
That
he
man.
went.
He
He conquered an
conquered.
entire planet. He conquered their booty. He
Look,
is
this man is the
he's the
epitome.
biggest.
This man is the epitome of the adapt, or excuse me. How does that fucking thing go? Improvise, adapt, and
Was
overcome.
adapt, overcome. Yes,
And come in big
but
letters.
with an it. Hell yeah.
Dude, come.
But man,
Oh
but so
man.
back to Reagan's office. Um,
This
we
was a
get this very
neat.
awesome scene. Everybody, we see a whole bunch of everybody from the Awakening Labs there.
This was really heartwarming,
Just
dude.
almost every supporting character is there, bar say the already graduated
Right.
Body Improvement Club. But just about everyone's there, and we're thinking, huh, what's this for? And so we cut over to Reagan. He's walking up the stairs with Dimple. And the office light is off. Like, huh, this side. They told me, Sarah's all, are you there? And when the lights come on,
Future
what
rules.
is it?
O'Doyle rules.
It's Doyle Rules.
O'Doyle's.
It's a fucking surprise birthday party.
It's the biggest surprise birthday party, and which was so cool with the comeback because in the previous season, everyone forgot Reagan's birthday,
He forgot Reagan's birthday, and he always spends it alone.
and this year he
And
got
this
everybody that was
this scene
involved.
actually made me tear up a bit.
This scene was really
Because
heartwarming that everybody came together
yeah,
and realized how big of an impact Reagan was on their lives as a
hmm
whole. Like, Reagan is what you just strive to be in life. And
yeah.
the only reason I say that, like, he is the Andrew Tate of anime.
I wouldn't go that far because Andrew Tate's fucking super extreme.
Look, he is
That's
he is a true
and
G.
also like an actual criminal, not like Reagan.
Wait, criminal. Hold on. What the fuck have I
An actual
missed?
criminal. Have you missed, dude? Fucking Andrew Tate's like a fucking persona non grata.
What?
Like, dude, if you haven't learned if you haven't been down the Tate hole,
I have
I
not.
highly
What's
recommend it
going
because I
on?
would not. He's not a man I would look up to.
No, I'm talking about him
Because
being like his whole like masculinity thing. I'm not talking about.
oh, okay. Either way, so I wouldn't bring him up as a comparison
All
because
right,
damn.
fine. Reagan
But
is
either
somebody
way,
you look
Reagan
up to as a dad.
Reagan's your fucking. He's like a
He's
Bob Ross.
he's the
He's like a
guy.
Bob Ross.
I wouldn't compare him to Bob Ross either. Come on.
Oh, this he's a lot better than comparing to fucking Andrew Tate.
I
But
agree, but not Bob Ross either. We got to come up with a better
yeah,
comparison.
I don't fucking know. But either way, he is like just really fucking good. His
Plot
entire
twist.
philosophy of shit. He's very honest, all while also dealing with the parts of him he's not a big fan of.
Plot twist. He is Tomohiro.
He is. Hell yeah, he
There's our
fucking dyed his
comparison.
hair.
Fuck it. He
Yeah,
is.
man.
There's
He
our
lost weight,
comparison.
dyed his hair, changed his name.
Went to a completely different universe.
Hey, you don't know. You don't know, man.
Oh my
It
goodness.
could it could just be a thing where you just hop into the next. It's like Toontown from Roger Rabbit, you just hop over, and all of a sudden it's an entirely different art style.
Maybe, or maybe it's just a different. Maybe it's just a different planet. Maybe it's just that.
Maybe, perhaps, but fucking Reagan is like fucking tearing up as well as like I said, like I was about to fucking cry.
Yeah, it's pretty.
It
It's
is
pretty fucked up.
so fucking good.
Yeah, it is.
And as soon as soon as they're like, oh man, are you starting to cry, Reagan? It's like, no,
Little
I'm
bitch
not. And all
baby,
of a
you be a
sudden,
little
the
bitch
fucking
baby.
the, the cake fucking drops,
He gets
and
no. That's when she interrupted him with the raise because he slaps her
yeah,
back.
because
Sarah's
he slaps his back, and he causes him to actually cause the cake to tip over.
yeah, and the cake's just flipping. He's like, my cake. And either Sarah Zaba or Mob One stop the cake midair, and Reagan just
Uh huh.
face plants the fucking
Yeah,
cake.
it's like having a birthday at a Mexican restaurant.
Dude, it's fucked. It's so funny.
Uh, but
But that
everyone, and then we get
just
this full thing where it cuts to everybody, laughing, having a good time.
and
And
it
then who's the
fades off
last
to
person we cut to?
Mob.
It's fucking Mob.
This made me
And
tear
it's
up,
like,
dude. Like,
it's also where it also made, that's the second part that made me tear up even more
and
was
this scene
now Mob
alone,
is actually like laughing and expressing himself.
has the most animation I've ever seen in my life.
Hmm.
Because as he was laughing, you could just see his belly laugh. His hair was bobbing when he was laughing and shit.
Uh-huh. They
I
put a
really
lot of
enjoyed it.
detail into it,
Well, I
into the
think,
small
and
movements.
they should have given the last scene of the episode and the finale. I really enjoyed it.
Hmm.
And I'm about to
It
cry
was
just thinking
really,
about that it's over,
yeah,
dude.
dude. It's like it's
Cause
over.
man,
The
I hate that
entire
it's
like Mob's
done.
entire arc throughout the series is so great. It's good.
How
He is a
many
really relatable protagonist.
how much manga is there in that series?
Uh, I'm trying to remember. I don't know.
Cause I might get that one just because of how much I love the anime.
Hmm. I still think it's being printed currently in the US, so it's not fully complete in the US. The manga is complete.
That's
It's
bullshit,
just
dude.
I don't think in the US it's complete
They
yet.
need to hurry up and complete it.
I'm not so sure, but yeah, but it's just man, this fucking series was a wild ride.
Dude, it was
Um,
fantastic. And I could not have
it
ended
sucks
it
that it's
any
over.
better as much as, I shit talk most endings. Um I really,
Hmm.
really enjoyed this ending compared to what I was expecting. Um
Hmm.
I was expecting something bombastic and huge. I got something very wholesome and enjoyable and just talk worthy. And I
Hmm.
really, really love it. So
And it's also something that's thematically appropriate for what the entire series was
so
and man,
this this whole time, and I haven't even been paying
yeah.
attention to it because I've been looking off the whole time. I've had the future devil's eyeball popped up on my Discord.
Oh hell yeah,
And it
he's
like
looking at you.
I kind of glanced over and saw it. And I was like, "Oh shit. I got this pulled up."
Hell yeah, hell
um
yeah. Oh, there's one small other thing that we failed to mention, and that is Mob's been talking to Spony, so they've actually been building
oh
and
yeah.
whatnot. They're in the friend
Given
stage right now,
given the
but
rejection, they are building their relationship as friends before they carry it further, which is respectable of Sabomi and
mhm,
very on point with her characteristics.
mhm,
Given how Sabomi is towards people, very blunt, very to the point. She's not afraid to speak her mind. I really enjoy it.
mhm.
But
It was really really nice.
but
But yeah, so do you
that's
have any
it.
final words for Mob as a series?
I'm gonna miss you, buddy.
Hmm.
I'm gonna miss you, Bob. I ain't gonna lie, it's pretty upsetting. Uh,
Yeah, I
but
feel especially for you because you just got into it this year.
dude, it's like it just went by in a blur and it's over
Uh-huh.
now. And I don't know, it's like whenever you get to one of those things in your life where you're just like you're done and that's it, and it's like you feel like it's been this huge project that you've been working on forever.
Hmm.
and then it hits you and it's over, and now you're just like, oh man, now I have to find something else to fill my time. And this is
Jay,
definitely giving
there
me
will be
that.
plenty of stuff to do that,
I
but at the
get
same time,
that.
I
I
feel
don't know. I feel like
like
there's nothing
at the
that's
same
gonna
time, I
impact me.
understand.
Like I don't think there's anything that's gonna
Um,
impact me better than Mob did. Like,
Better them up. I don't think that I will agree. I don't think there's going to be any series quite like Mob in a good bit.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I've really enjoyed our Spy Family series. I've really
Yeah.
enjoyed our Chainsaw Man series so far. It's really
Hmm.
good. Both of them are fantastic anime.
Mob just hits different.
Mob just hits different because of, it's just. I think it's literally the only thing on the channel that we've covered that has an ending, other than movies, of course. But that's just movies.
Hmm.
Like this is our first
This is the
series
first one
covered.
series that has
We've
ended because
covered
most of
the
the
whole
ones are either,
series.
yeah,
The Mob series is over, and it's, I don't know, it's kind of special to me a little bit. I'm really enjoying it.
uh, same here. I guess with my final words is like I said, like when I first started watching it, it was like, oh, so the first thing that caught my eye was, hey, this is a anime made by the Soul Eater Studio, based off a manga made by the One Punch Man guy.
Right.
And I was like, oh, okay, so this is probably gonna be something special. And I went into expecting like, some awesome shit, cool, stylized animation with a neat gimmick with the counter and whatnot. But what I wasn't expecting was a series to be so emotionally in depth with in terms of with themes of like bettering yourself and how so like things like the special thing or talent you're born with might not be so special to you because well you're born with it.
I
And the
I
whole,
really like that analogy.
it's just
Like,
like that one's like so good, and it paired with the fact it's like, well, you can't just have that one thing. You gotta better yourself as a person. That one thing can't carry you throughout your life,
right. You
and
you know,
it's just so poignant.
I'd have to say that the one thing from the series that stuck to me was Mob was just this, really lost person.
Hmm.
Didn't understand his powers, didn't understand himself, and given the fact that he started from nothing and became the person that he is in such a short time, and so
Hmm.
much development ensued. It kind of gives you those little flutters that you get when you really accomplish something, and
Yeah,
it really makes you strive to be. And given whoever's listening to this, I mean, obviously I'm kind of over analyzing a sense of, but you can take
I
something
don't
from
think you.
everything. Um,
Well, I don't think you are because like that just shows how much of like an impact the series has had on you.
like Mob, I'd
Um,
have to say Mob
like
right now is my absolute favorite, like, anime
hmm.
ever. And I've watched a good bit of anime, not as much as Bob Stowe over here. I mean, we're just gonna put him in a different league.
Hmm.
But given the stuff that I have watched, and I mean, I have watched Your Lie in April, and that stuck with me as my favorite for a very, very long time. But this, I don't know, it just takes the cake, and I appreciate it
Yeah,
and love it a
it's
lot.
just it's very succinct. It doesn't there's not except for maybe things like Tinga, there's not like a lot of characters that just show up and aren't like addressed anymore or anything like that. Everything is brought up when it needs to be brought up. It goes away when it needs to go away.
Right,
It's
everything
just a
has
very well
such
constructed story, and its themes are very, very well thought out.
themes. That's
And
the word I was looking for earlier. Come full circle, baby.
hell
Themes.
yeah.
I really, really love how the series impacted me in a way, and it's
Mhm.
essentially like, I don't know. I'm kind of tearing up thinking about it.
Yeah.
Given the fact that
Um,
and it kind of hits me with, when we first started this, podcast idea, right? I decided to take
mhm.
up the editing because I got an editing software. I wanted to try out new things, and Mob's progression was, he started letting his emotions take toll. I
Hmm.
don't know. Mine with the channel.
Well, Mob's thing was like he also like he was trying to better himself physically, like through the Body Improvement Club. So like his thing, the equivalent to your editing would be him joining the Body Improvement Club.
Yeah, essentially. And this channel
Yeah.
really opened me up a little bit and started me on a journey of defining, a skill that I didn't know I was somewhat good at. And I'm decent. I'm not the best, of course, but I really love doing what we're doing, and we really enjoy everything that you guys have come and joined in with us. So,
Hmm.
uh, I guess I could just all of my final thoughts on the matter is wrapping up this series is God, it was amazing, and two, being thankful of the people who were just here to experience the journey with us. And that's all I ever wanted. I don't really care if we ever get big, get huge. I just want people
It's
to
whatever.
share
It's
their
just
thoughts and
we
ideas.
do what we do, and yeah, it's what it be. And man, um
This is
this was a really really good fucking series, and whatnot.
this is
And
a
sorry if it's
sappy
getting ram.
sappy episode.
This is a sappy episode, but that's just because this mob itself, like it brings out those emotions.
God, it really hits you in a
It
different kind of way, and I
it
appreciate
it
it.
it brings those out. It makes you kind of also reflect in on yourself a bit.
Right. Well,
And that's I think it's the one special thing I've noticed a lot about anime and manga that not a whole lot of more other media has done to me is like if it is something that like has like a huge impact, it leaves a massive fucking impact.
right. And it definitely
And
did. Given that it's
mob's no
only
exception.
and given the fact that
Like
you have all this impact in 3 seasons is incredible. Like it's super
like
cool how they wrapped up the story, and the story itself has
mhm,
such good, um, poignant, like flamboyantly themed goals. I guess I'm
mhm.
like I said, I don't know why my words are escaping me
You're
tonight,
at a loss
but
of words. This episode must have shook you to your core.
it did. It
So you
definitely
just
did.
fucking you just you're fucking you can't formulate the words.
I don't know.
Um,
I was underwhelmed at what happened, but I really appreciated what happened. So that's just my final
mhm.
thoughts. That's all I have to say on the matter. Uh, Bob Stowe, what about you?
Um, trying to think. This is definitely one of those series that even later on in life, I'll probably think back on it, and
Definitely.
that's like this like that's the other thing. Like I said with like anime is like there are like a lot of anime that I've watched that left like a similar impact on me where like I just think back to like a moment and start tearing up a little
Right, and
and it
it's
just fucking
it's
hit me
it's
again. That's
it's
when you know you got really good media is whenever it affects you on such an emotional level that
and
it just fucking hits you. Like a good example would be like whenever like the Guts theme plays, I get a
dude,
little teary eye think about it
like whenever
and what it represents.
the guts theme plays, all I can think about is the golden era, like the entirety of it,
Yeah,
and it really hits you. But
it's just really fucking
I can understand where you're coming from,
yeah.
essentially. But any
But yeah, it's just it's another one of those pieces of media that will it'll stay with you.
right,
And
and I
man,
hope it continues. I really do.
I'm
Uh,
looking forward to covering some of the other stuff that had sort of an impact on me whenever I got into anime and whatnot,
right,
which I'm
and
sure we will because basically at this point, anytime I see a somewhat interesting anime, it's like, okay, saving that one for the podcast.
right, and I
Uh,
really, and that's we've kind of we've dragged on further than we need to about the
yeah,
matter, but
but
um,
I
anyway,
guess it's time to carry it away.
I believe so. Yes, sir.
All right. Well, if you liked this video, give us a like, comment, give us a little subscribe
Yeah, subscribe,
and
subscribe,
subscribe. Do
please,
it. You won't regret
please,
it.
please. I got a baby on
We're
the way.
chill boys. We're chill boys.
We
And
just,
if you want just something just to vibe to, hey, you got us.
yeah, man.
But other than that, well, I'm Bob still, the Elder Weeb.
And I'm Red, the bald headed wonder.
You just got done watching the Anime Boys.
The anime
Me
boys.
boys.
See ya.
See ya.